The world no longer makes sense to most people over 40 years of age. I think that's true. Everything that you... Remember I used to say, everything you thought was solid will be liquid. Everything you thought you could count on, you won't be able to. The world will be upside down. We're here. The world no longer makes sense to most people over 40 years of age. Much of what we thought we knew was true is now denied. What was to us obviously false, or at least always was obviously false, is now accepted as being true. That's where we are. It's not a sane world anymore. Fantasies might be satisfying to many people, but they are ultimately destructive. Truth cannot be changed by believing and repeating falsehoods, nor can it be altered by more people believing untruths. But when the fantasizers overwhelm society with their false beliefs, society will no longer function. Society cannot invent its own truth based on convenience, prejudice, or popularity. Truth is not manufactured myth. It is key to survival. Societies which deviate from truth do not survive. Ayn Rand said, "You can avoid reality, but you cannot avoid the consequences of avoiding reality." The avoidance of reality has taken over our society, and the consequences of doing so have been building for decades and will soon overwhelm us. On our current path, much of which we knew and cared for and knew to be true will be destroyed. I think that is unbelievably accurate. That's from Tyler Durden. Absolutely true.
Isn't that the guy from Fight Club? It's got to be an online name of some sort.
I think it probably is.
Yeah. I don't think his real
reality
name
has consequences. It's from Zero Head.
Says the guy who has the name of the guy of Fight Club.
Well, you know what? I have to tell you.
He's right, though. Obviously.
Yeah, he's right. And more people are beginning to see the realities of what we're facing. And it is becoming more and more daunting to them.
I just hope that doesn't inspire other people to almost say the word Bolsheviks on the air.
Yeah.
That way, we cannot get to that point.
Thank you. And I'm glad I didn't. That's a word I don't use.
You don't use Bolsheviks. And
you usually say communists.
Yeah, you usually do. So let's make sure in the future we use communists.
I believe it's actually Bolshevik.
Yeah, you mispronounced it a little bit at the beginning, but you caught yourself. That was good.
Okay, good.